It's going. Okay. Camerieri. Let me just write down this annotation a little bit. Camerieri. Riri. Camerieri.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome back. Season 2, episode 8. Welcome to the pod. Anthony Camerieri, a.k.a. Ant-Man, a.k.a. Big Tone, a.k.a. Camerieri, a.k.a. Miami, not Florida's finest, 356 miler, 326 5K runner, NCAA runner-up, Mr. Shrug on him, ex-Ole Miss Rebel, and newest member of Tinman Elite. Welcome to the podcast. Are you Italian? Is that a little bit of Italian in there?
Yeah, it's my dad. My dad's Italian.
You're on your dad's side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of Sopranos recently.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really into like the whole culture and everything. Have you ever seen the show?
I have not, but I know it's,
Okay.
Italian.
You definitely have to get into it. It definitely is a little bit of like a crude show for sure, as much HBO shows are, but it's definitely one I would recommend to anyone watching. I think it's like the #1 rated show ever. And I see like all this. Have you been seeing the stuff with the new Giants quarterback, Tommy DeVito?
Oh, was that their backup?
Yeah, it's the backup for Danny Dimes, and they've really been leaning into the whole like Italian mafia type of vibe. Like his agent wore this like blacked out pinstripe suit to the last game, and his dad is like kissing everyone on like the lips or on the cheeks,
On the lips.
like during like whenever he scores a touchdown, it just like cuts to like the family. It's pretty good stuff. But how has the transition to Boulder been so far?
It's been great. I just got here last week. I mean, I've kind of always looked at Boulder as like this utopian society of runners.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's still, my expectations are really high, but I'm still like, enjoying it so much, and I'm not disappointed by any means by anything. So
A little bit of cold weather.
a little bit, but I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so it's nothing I haven't experienced before. It's actually warmer than I'd say I'm used to for the winter. So yeah, hasn't been bad at all this morning.
So let's do a quick training breakdown. So you've been here how many days now?
This will be day 8, I believe.
Okay, so you got a full weekend. So let's do a quick 7-day recap.
Yeah.
You want to pull up your Strava?
Yeah.
And just like break down your training week and just talk a little bit about like your philosophy towards it all.
Yeah. So the past 7 days has been a little different than normal, I would say.
What's the total mileage?
Last week, I believe I ran 7 days last week, which was the first time running 7 days in a while. That was, I think I had like 66.
Nice.
So normally I hit 65 to 68 or so in 6 days. But I guess first run in Colorado, it was last Wednesday. Just an hour easy run, and then I doubled. I do a lot of cross training, so I doubled 65 minutes on the bike. Next day, just another easy run, 55 minutes, and then in the afternoon went to the Longmont Rec Center and did an aqua jogging pool, 50 minutes.
How is the Longmont Rec Center?
It's not bad. A lot of people. I didn't realize how popular
because
Longmont
Drew made it seem like it was like the Ritz-Carlton when I talked to him about
It's not that crazy. The pool,
like,
I mean,
the sauna is so nice, and the pool, like,
I went there.
there.
I went there the first. Well, I go at like 5 p.m., which is probably not the good. Like,
that is prime time.
Yeah, so I've been sharing lanes with people every time I go to the pool, and then also the sauna is like standing room only.
Is it?
Just a bunch of dudes and towels and stuff. So,
Dang.
So maybe I see you go at like 3 or something when it's
I try to go to the Louisville Rec Center. I'm revealing my secrets here, which I shouldn't, because I love going there because I never see anybody I know there, or like. It is the same sort of thing, just a bunch of old guys, just hanging out in the hot tub and steam room and whatnot. So, yeah, good to know. Sorry, keep going.
And then at the first workout, we did that at Davidson Mesa. That was 7 by mile. That went pretty well. I'm not really used to doing like actual threshold paces. I'm pretty used to what I'd say most college teams do is too fast a threshold.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's a mixture of people not totally understanding threshold. Also, there's such a initiative in college to run as a team and everything, so it's not very individualized. So you'll have a guy that runs like a 14:55K working out with a guy that runs a 14 flat 5K, and then the workout's just kind of meant probably more so for the 14 flat 5K guy, and then everyone tries to run to their level.
Did you feel like you got thrown to the Sharks in college? like in that same regard, where all of a sudden you were just thrown into a workout group like way above your pay grade?
Not really. My coaches at Miami were pretty good about having more individualized workout groups, so only groups like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there were certainly some workouts where I'd work out with 2 like the top guys on the team, especially more so in track season, which, I mean, I stayed healthy enough, so I say it was probably worth it because I still ended up progressing pretty well.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I ever ran threshold like once in college.
yeah,
Like true threshold, like not a chance.
yeah, I'm running. Because like the workout we just did, it was 5:20 miles down to 5:11 was the fastest rep that I did, and that was probably the slowest I've ever ran. Threshold workout, quote unquote, even when I was a freshman. So given we're at altitude, that whole thing.
Yeah,
so
you get what, 10 seconds or something? But
yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but
I think that's what the NCAA conversion is.
Is it like?
I think it's close to 10.
Like if you run a 4:10 mile, they call it a 4 flat.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Pretty something. Taylor, do you know what that mile altitude conversion is for Colorado? Is it 7 seconds?
Maybe it's like the faster.
Yeah, we'll get our producer to look it up, and he'll let us know.
Yeah, maybe it's like a percentage thing.
Yeah, I know Flagstaff is over 10. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean that's just so much higher as well.
For sure. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, the workout went well though. I tried to be a bit conservative just because I hadn't really done threshold workout at altitude, so I didn't want to like blow up or anything. Finished that off with 4 by 30-second hills, 2 by 20-second, kind of flat around the flat kind of stride things.
Mm-hmm.
Those went well, felt good. Doubled later, just 21 minutes, and the next day it was just easy 40 minutes.
That's a talent double. That's what we call a talent double. Anything under 4 miles, you call it a talent double.
Talent?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's just like, what's the official report? If you run 4 flat, 354. So it's 6, Colorado's 6 seconds conversion. Okay. All right. That makes sense. So then Flagstaff is probably 10.
Yeah.
If not more. Sorry to interrupt again.
Even so, I mean, 6 seconds, if you take 6 seconds off those times, it's still probably slower than I'm going.
Yeah. We just joke that if you are doubling only 3 miles, which is, I assume what you did, 21 minutes, 3 miles.
It was like 2.7. But
yeah, 2.7. That's a very talented double. Is basically, it's basically just a joke. Because you're so talented, you don't need to do like a 4 or a 5 mile double in the afternoon. So, and then I'll call like 4 mile doubles, like talent-ish doubles, and then 5 mile double, anything over 4 miles for that matter. Anything 5 miles and up. I mean, I would consider anything over 5 miles just a run. Like you can call it a double run, but talentless double is like a 5 mile double, or a 6 mile double is like you're just a marathoner. Just
you
got to get everything out. You got to get everything out.
yeah. I was just trying to get, because the morning was over 13 miles, and that's a pretty long morning for me. So
yeah, it's a big day.
I was trying to get the volume to something close to that we might hit during double threshold days. Sure. So Ellen needed 3 miles to do that. So then next day was just easy run, 7 miles, and then I guess I did a 50-minute ride later, which that's a little abnormal, but normally I do longer, but just kind of ease into the whole training at altitude thing. Next day was 13 miles at 6:33 pace, which might sound slow, but that was probably my fastest long run in 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
Just because I've just been jogging them forever, basically.
Really?
So all good about that one, definitely.
That's awesome.
And then double the 30-minute bike ride that afternoon. Normally I'd go 50 to 60 minutes, but I also had kind of a bit of a week and a half and down week, like before and after Boston, so trying to ease back into the volume. Next day, I did a long bike ride, which was 39.4 miles, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Did that, just a big loop to the west, down into Boulder. So really nice loop.
Where did you go?
Took west all the way, or took Nelson Road all the way west. I think I forget the name of the very small town.
Are you just like free-for-alling these bike rides? Because I really just got here, or are you like mapping it?
I use the Strava heat map to kind of see where people generally bike, and then I wanted to go up in the mountains. So I wasn't sure if I was going to hit some like ice patch going down 45 miles an hour. So didn't want to take the gamble
you're
yet.
A good enough biker technically to go down these like canyons and whatnot?
I think so. There's a lot. So where I live in Ohio and Cleveland, there's like a big valley. So there's a lot of twist turns down, super steep downhills. Like I've hit 56 miles an hour on out there. Yeah. So given that was like straight down.
What do like the Tour de France riders get up to? Do you have any idea?
They get over 60.
Do they?
Yeah.
God,
So I haven't.
I remember.
but-
Did you watch the Netflix the Drive to Survive? Like the-
Equivalent, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched most of the episodes. Yes.
Did you get to the episode where like Tom Pittock? I hope that's how you say his last name. Did I say it right?
I think yeah, Pitcock.
Pitcock, hard cock at the end there.
Yeah.
Is like descending. Did you see that episode? Did you get to that one?
I think I remember that stage, but I don't know if I watched that episode.
It's fucking epic.
Yeah,
like
he's so good at descending.
He's incredible, and like Netflix just like I mean the whole thing is over dramatized.
Right.
So it just makes it seem like every turn he goes on is like life or death, which some of them might have been, you know, but it certainly is something where I was like watching that and I'm like, man, this is so over my like pay grade.
Yeah.
Like I you know, I'm just barely getting into cycling and I do 98% of the cycling I've ever done in my life on the indoor trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I did go out for a few rides when it was still nice out. So kudos for you for even venturing out in this cold weather. I don't think I have the proper like gear to.
Yeah, you just need the gear. Like shoe covers.
I was gonna say you have the booties and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
do you wear like a skull cap? Like what is the?
I have a shiesty mask type thing.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it gets real cold.
Yeah.
So
that's a week in the life then, or was that it?
almost. And I guess yesterday was just 55 minutes easy around another hour water jog, and then today it was a workout 5x2K, 3 300s, 3 200s, and then the double 4 miles.
Nice.
So talent-ish double.
Talent-ish double.
Yeah.
Nice. So how many hours? So like you get like around 6 hours then of cross training a week is what you're doing?
I'd say this past week is probably around 6, maybe 7, but usually I get up to about 8. So I think like all this fall and summer I was doing about 8.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think it's about 6-7 hours running, so it's about 14 to 15 hours total.
And do you really believe, and I know this is like, we were talking about it a little bit this morning, just because I was genuinely curious, like after I finished my afternoon bike ride yesterday, I certainly feel like I'm at the point now in my own training where if I'm not doing something in the afternoon, I just feel lazy because I'm not doing anything else. So it's like, might as well go do something. And I certainly don't feel like I can go just run in the afternoon every day for my body's sake and coming back from this injury stuff. But do you feel like the cross training really makes a difference in your overall fitness? Or do you think, is it more so just making you feel good for the next day's run? Like, do you see what I'm getting at? Like, is it more of a therapeutic thing to get the blood flowing for recovery purposes, like motion is lotion type of vibe? Or is it actually increasing your fitness?
I would say a little of both. So for one, I didn't really start to get good until I started cross training. That could have just been a coincidence based on just getting older and running more a little bit as well.
Were you injury prone and that what's got you into the cross training?
Yeah, my first 2 years I would struggle with so much tendonitis pain, like a daily. And then I got to I ended up getting a stress reaction on my foot. And then I went from 65 miles my sophomore year to 55 my junior year, but I added in all the cross training. So I guess I actually ran less, added cross training, and then I started to get good.
Yeah.
So then I just kind of viewed it as don't fix what's not broken. Yeah, don't fix what's not broken. And then I just kept cross training, kept adding more and more and more volume, kept getting better and better.
So you're saying it's a fucking secret?
I mean, if I could run 100 miles a week, I would do that and not cross train.
Really?
But, I mean, I got to bridge the gap somehow because I run 65 miles on my big weeks.
What are you trying to get up to this year, you think, mileage wise?
Haven't talked to Joan yet, but I'd say probably I like to get to 70. I'm big on the very gradual progressions of everything.
Yeah.
Like week to week, season to season. What I'd say as far as whether it's motion or lotion, motion is lotion, or if it's actual fitness, I'd say the biking, my heart rate's a lot higher, closer to 120 at altitude is 130, which I think is going to even benefit me even more.
Nice. That's all.
But when the pool, it's like 95, 100. So.
And you're just aqua jogging.
Yeah, I can't really swim very well.
Okay, I was going to say triathlon future or what?
Maybe, but I have to learn to swim quite now. To spend a lot of time with a coach to learn how to swim. But yeah, I said though aqua jogging, that might just be just getting the legs moving, feeling better for the next day. Because I always do that the day before a workout.
Yeah.
But I'd say the biking, my heart's high enough, and over time, I feel like when I get tired in a race, I don't really feel it in my legs anymore. I feel it kind of more in my breathing musculature.
Really?
So I think that might be from the biking as I've increased that volume. Just my legs have gotten stronger.
Interesting.
But
for me,
I don't really know.
it's always legs.
Mhm.
Like that is my limiting point in races always is
Mhm.
like if my calves are, going or hamstrings or whatever, it may be hips are off and I feel like my TFL is going nuts or something. Like that's typically it for me. Like that's interesting to hear that you feel like your aerobic capacity is the limiting factor there.
Yeah. Like up until
that's exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
To know because you can only increase that engine,
Mhm.
Like if, I don't know, I would rather be in your situation than mine, for sure.
Yeah, because it almost feels like you shouldn't be slowing down in a race, but like you just kind of are just because it kind of hurts. Whereas previously it was my glutes or quads were just fried, which I still kind of feel that way in like mile races. But
have you ever gotten a VO2 max test and
no
threshold testing and all that?
No, I was supposed to do it in an exercise physiology class, but I kind of got out of it because it was like the end of the season in cross country when we were supposed to do it.
Yeah, so one of the questions that I'm not going to do all the mailbags right now, but one of the things that I did thought was a great mailbag question was like if you weren't running, what would you be doing? And I think you were just starting to get in on the classes you were taking. I think I'll know your answer to this, but you want to tell the people what are you going to be doing here in Boulder also?
So I'm getting a master's in athletic training. So I actually don't even know if I want to be an athletic trainer with that sort of profession.
Really?
But
Okay.
the reason I started doing athletic training, the reason I started
firefighter.
the reason I started doing athletic training is because it was like kind of the most applicable master's to what I actually want to do, which is chiropractic.
Okay.
So I'd say that, which is, I guess, more just treating athletes in more of a clinical setting as opposed to.
You got to hurry up and get
training.
this because the team that'd be great.
Yeah.
Love to
unfortunately, it's 3 more years.
Get some work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's 3 more years of school. So I'll probably do that once I'm done with running, unless I decide to get into coaching or something. But I'd say chiropractic. As far as what I'd fill my time with just as a hobby, I have no idea. Probably just video games.
Video games.
Yeah.
What is your video game choice?
So growing up, I was always big into Madden, NBA 2K, those kind of games.
Okay, so you're on the sports sector grind.
I was, and then I guess kind of got into Call of Duty, and then I played.
I feel like everyone in college.
Yeah,
it's like a rite of passage. Like you're playing like Nazi zombies and like Modern Warfare 2 and stuff with all your teams.
Which I don't play much. Like once I got to college, I kind of stopped playing, but I just got into Counter-Strike Global Offensive on the PC, and I put in like a very unhealthy amount of hours.
Still.
Nah. I mean, when I do play games, that's basically what I play.
You gonna get Katie and Savannah in on them?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they're the types of games, but yeah. But yeah.
So what has it been like so far living with two other? So you live in a house with the 2 new Tinman elite runners, also Katie and Savannah. How's that been? Have you ever lived with women before? Or?
I've not. I mean, I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed much of a difference. Besides just the dishes are actually clean and the house is clean, at least as of a week of living.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. It really just feels like college again, just living with people on the team. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a very chill environment.
Yeah, no, I can't tell you how pumped up I was to hear when you guys were all getting a house together and figuring that all out, because certainly when myself and Reed and Drew all first moved to Boulder, like we had the Bighorn house that we all lived together in, and we fostered the team culture through that house. It was just like, it was always, we never locked the front door, so anybody on the team could always come and go whenever they wanted to. And then as the team got older, we all found women in Boulder, or women moved to Boulder, and we all then moved into apartments and separated. So it's great to have what I hope will turn into, again, this central hub for everyone to go to hang out and to have dinners. And it really lined you guys up for the White Elephant Christmas party coming up.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we have a good house to host.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was hoping you guys would step up for that one.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can get it done for sure.
All right. Nice. I'm gonna hold.
We have a Christmas tree, so
well, we have it on record now. So now it has to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into a little bit of your background. Let's get the people to know a little bit more about you. So outside of my amazing introduction of you, so you grew up Cleveland, Ohio, and you went to Miami of Ohio.
Yes.
And then you transferred to Ole Miss.
Correct.
For your last year of college. Just talk to me a little bit about what it was like transitioning high school and then into college. Like, was that always a thing?
Like wanting to run to college?
Like wanting to run to college, or?
I guess I didn't really realize it was a thing until maybe my sophomore year, which I maybe for some people that's actually pretty early, realizing you run to college.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very normal for someone from my high school to run in college, so I guess I didn't really consider it too much until I guess my junior year. I started to kind of get letters just from random D3 schools, and
do you still have the letters? Did you keep them?
Maybe my mom has them. I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be kind of funny looking back.
For sure.
But I was always pretty good at running. So like in middle school, I was one of the best in the state. And then
so you ran early on.
Yeah, I started in I think 6th grade. I ran CYO track.
How did you get into it?
We would do a gym class mile in 4th and 5th grade, and
Nice.
I ran the fastest mile by a male in 5th grade, like ever in school history.
Yeah.
Which there was a girl who ran 1 second faster than me. She ran 5:59. So there's actually a girl still has the actual overall school record, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
So I guess I was just kind of good at running, and so I was like, winning's fun, so let me do track. And then
For sure.
did 7th and 8th grade cross country track. Then in high school, I was injured a lot, so I only ran 4 out of the 8 seasons between cross country and track, and then got just good enough to go to Miami. And then I guess, started my college career. Wasn't very good. So I guess my high school, my PRs were 15:26 5K, 4:20, 1600, 1:54 800. It's like decent times, good enough to get in D1 school, but not
Right.
anything that's going to, give me the full ride at Oregon or anything,
Mm-hmm.
And then I basically, my 4 years, I had a little injury sophomore year with, as I said, my stress reaction on my foot. But beyond that, stayed pretty healthy, just kind of built up training, and then got better and better every year. So like my 1500 my mile went from 412, 409, and then 401, 4 flat at Miami. So I got better and better every year. My 8K, I was like a 25, 30 8K guy. My first
was that your first 8K cross country 25, 30?
Well, my freshman year, that was my PR, is 25, 30.
Okay.
Then my sophomore year was 25 flat, and then I ran like a 24, 20, then a 23, 36, then a 20, and like a faster at Ole Miss. So basically just got better and better every year.
So that was actually my next question was, let's hear the sub 4 story. I know everyone has one. And you certainly were in like that. You're in the bracket where you ran just quite 401 and then 4 flat, you know. Was there ever a point during that process where you're like, oh, fuck, like I might be on like the other side of this like barrier looking in for like my whole life? Like, was there that doubt that ever creeped in, or did you always think like, no, I'm going to eventually get it?
I think I always thought I'd get it. Like my freshman, when I was like a 412 miler, I was like, I had this pipe dream that I could do it like within like way too soon, which I think that's a common misconception people have, is how long it takes to go from 410 to 4 flat.
What do you think, before I let you tell the story, what do you think is the number and when you get to like actually be like, no, you can do it? Like, is it 406? Is it,
I mean, even when I ran 401, I knew that was like the perfect race, like I knew I probably couldn't do it that season because 401 is basically my potential. So I think it kind of depends on how the race is. So like when I ran 4 flat as a guy, I can definitely do it. But I'd say for an average person, probably at least like 402, 403.
Really?
You have to be pretty close.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like if you're a 356 guy, to drop another 3 seconds is like insane.
For sure.
And it's kind of sort of similar with like a 403 to a 4 flat. It's a 359.
So anyway, take me through the 4 flat journey.
So my sophomore year in 409, probably could have ran a little faster, but I wasn't going to get it all last season. My junior year, indoor ran like 406, and then by outdoor, our conference was a week early, so we had 3 weeks until regionals. So then that, like when everyone else was running conference, so we ran a race, like kind of set up a sub 4 mile, which someone didn't break it in the race, but I ran 401, and I was totally like, I had a pounding headache for 30 minutes afterwards.
Yeah.
I was fully maxed out. Like, I couldn't run any faster. So that was my junior year. So I knew probably in the next year I could drop another 2 seconds was what I needed, because considering I dropped 8 seconds the previous year. So, and then my senior year, I ran 4 flat. It wasn't I definitely could have broken 4 that year. I just didn't really have a race to do it. I had a pacer, so everyone's got their pacer excuses and having to lead the race and the whole thing.
In college, it's like, do it in this 4-week window of indoors or not. You know?
Basically, yeah.
Because there's not really that many mile opportunities outdoors all of a sudden.
Yeah, which is
transfers over to 15.
Which I ran 2 miles. So I ran 4:01 my opener, then I ran 4 flat a couple weeks later. So, I mean, if I ran it outdoors, I definitely would have broken it, because I ran 3:41 the 15. I ran a 1600 and 3:58 low Penn relay. So I was fit enough. I just didn't really do it, which didn't really bother me. Like, I knew I had another year of eligibility, so I'd probably do it then. And then I transferred to Ole Miss, and I mean, they're pretty well known for getting some guys sub 4. So first race I broke at 3:58. It was pretty seamless. I had good pacing and everything. And then run 3:56. Yeah. So that's, I guess, my PR now is 3:56.
Yeah. So, was that your biggest goal in college? Like, was that your highest moment, would you say? Yeah. I
mean, it's always I feel like it's always so hyped up that's going to be a little underwhelming when it happens.
Sure.
Because it was kind of like a low-key meet we did it at, which, you're still showered with praise afterwards because everyone thinks it's so cool.
Yeah.
But,
it's just, it's such a recognizable thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, you could tell people you ran a 21:28K this past weekend. And,
which is amazing, but no one would ever know.
No one would give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like you broke the course record by probably 2 minutes on most courses,
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, like, whenever when anyone asks me, just a regular person or like what my PR is, and they say 3:56, they like lose their mind. So, whereas if I say a 5K PR, it's not the same reaction. So.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where it'll be said at your funeral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as morbid as it is, like, that will be said. It's like one of those accomplishments that will carry with you for life, and no one can ever take it away from you. And you got your little tree in the forest,
Yeah. Hopefully they still do that.
Yeah.
Because I think like this USA track and field website, like, stopped putting sub 4 like on the website.
I did.
Because it's like they don't think it's special anymore. Which I guess that's also maybe the reason it didn't feel as special, because literally there's like 80, 90 guys in the NCAA that do it for your nose.
There's this huge boom.
Yeah. And I figured I could run faster as well. So it's like, all right, like, I did it, but now I want to be faster. Which, I mean, that's kind of the never-ending cycle of running.
Well, I'm sure that 5th grader that got beaten out for the record by that girl would be pretty stoked.
Yeah. I guess they would.
So what was one of my favorite questions to ask people is what was your highest and lowest moment during your running career so far?
Highest moment was probably the NCAA DMR this past March, just because when we were at Miami, we were like, the DMR was always such a cool idea to us, and it's like the only distance relay in the NCAA. That's where you kind of get to showcase your team's ability outside of cross country, and as far as like on the track. And then just, I was never really good enough to like individually to even be like on a team like that, let alone like a team being good enough, which I guess Miami did. They did get All-American or 8th place my junior year. I wasn't on the team, but just shout out to them. But when I got to Ole Miss, like, I was good enough individually to like anchor a really good team. RT, the team around me was amazing. I mean, we had All-Americans, like individual All-Americans, like basically in the whole team, qualifying. And then, yeah, I mean, there's just, I've been watching that race forever, like wanting to do well in it, obviously wanting to win, which we didn't win on, but
the NCAA DMR is the most badass race. Indoors,
it's the atmosphere
physical, it's like it kicks off the meet weekend, it's electric,
Yeah. I mean, the atmosphere is amazing. And then, so, and I guess we're getting second was like incredible. Like, that was better than I ever thought I'd be on a team doing.
Yeah.
And then just doing it in the fashion that we did, like we had, like the Ari Hunter guy got the baton in 11th, then he got me in 10th, like still a little far. I mean, he ran I think the fastest 800 split. He ran like 147 low. And then I got the baton in 10th, finished second, passed a bunch of really good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just incredible. Which, looking back in hindsight, it's like, I wish we were just a little closer, because then we probably would have gotten the win. But
yeah, just because you were feeling that good that day.
Yeah, I mean, I ran 357.5 at altitude, and I mean, I don't even remember like feeling anything in my legs all race. So it was just, I was like a euphoric.
Just adrenaline.
Yeah.
Just the runner's high or something. Just, it was your day.
Yeah, runner's high at the best time possible.
Yeah.
So that was probably my highest high. Lowest low definitely was not making nationals this past year in the 5K.
Yeah.
I ran 13:26 qualifying, which I think had me at 4th in the like NCAA overall
region. Yeah.
Or I think it's just overall.
Oh wow.
Like I think I was second or third in the second in the East region. And then I didn't even have a terrible race. I just had our heat was really good, and I just had like a little bit of an off day, and then I just got 6th, first one out.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it was a mix of bad positioning, bad luck, and just kind of choking.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So
were you pretty nervous going into that race, or?
I mean, kind of, because I had never made any individual event in indoor or outdoor track.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was kind of, I mean, being the rank that highly, I feel like you're kind of expected to make it.
For sure.
And everyone's kind of looking at you like, oh, like, yeah, okay, you should make it. So if he doesn't, that's kind of like a big deal. So yeah, it was pretty disappointing, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely my lowest moment.
What was some learning, like, is there a learning lesson that you took specifically from that race, or was it more just like you now have a chip on your shoulder and it fired you up to want to keep running, or was it like, man, I don't know if I want to keep going professionally after this?
Maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because first I made USAs so I was able to 6 weeks later run the USAs, which is a bit of a redemption, which is nice because you don't actually have to. There's no qualifying rounds for that. It's just you ran your time in the Oregon season, so now you get to go. So that kind of made me feel like I belong, but at the same time, it's like, what kind of runner that doesn't make NCAAs ends up running professionally? So I kind of feel like an underdog, and I guess I just have to use that as positive motivation, and just to just fuel me to keep going and try to be the best I can be.
Yeah, for sure. If you in looking back at that NCAA race, and I know I said it in the intro as a joke, like Mr. Shrug on him, like you did do like the MJ shrug.
Yeah.
What came of that? Like, did you feel like you kind of were an NCAA champion in a way because you beat the field, and was that kind of the shrug, where you're like, well, I probably would have won if we were a little closer, or
no, that by no means was any sort of dig on my teammates or anything.
Yeah.
But I don't even know why I did, to be honest. Just kind of,
it was just instinct.
So totally instinctual.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know how the fuck I did that.
Yeah. It was like, I knew I did something pretty good, but I didn't win, so I don't want to do something like some crazy celebration.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you don't want to be like, come on.
The picture makes it look like I did. It was like this whole thing, but it was like,
sure.
If you look at the video, it's really not like, that wasn't that showy or anything. Or flashy. But no, the picture made it look. It was a good picture.
Yeah, made for a good picture for sure. So with all this experience now, you've been running since 5th grade. What is something that you would tell your younger self, and now getting to the professional ranks? What do you think is, whether it's advice you've gotten for someone else or advice that you could give to your younger self, what would that be?
I mean, it's very cliche, but just enjoy every day. Run, you don't have to run, you get to run, that kind of thing. Because if you start enjoying the process and enjoying going for a run every day, then there's all scum. People always ask me, well, I run a good race, and then oh, what'd you do on the race day to run really well? It's it's nothing I did on the race day. It's just kind of don't be a head case. That's what you do on the race day. It's what you do the years and years before that got you to that point.
Yeah.
So just find some sort of training that you enjoy a lot, and then just do it. Well, I mean, for me, I enjoy biking and running, and that's what I can stick to religiously. So I do it every day, and I enjoy it. I basically every run and every ride I go on, and as a result, I just kind of get good at running.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's great.
Find people to run with, and that'll make it fun. However, whatever you got to do to make it fun, that's how you get the results.
It is crazy how people in this sport, it is so easy to get lost, and I've talked about it before on past episodes, where you get caught up in expectation, as your expectations, were to not easily qualify, but surely expected to qualify for NCAAs individually, and letting that, like, take a hold too much. And I'm sure, like, that if you were to be able to go back, to that NCAA 5K race itself, like, I wonder how much of that day and everything, like, were you having fun, like in the race a little bit more maybe, and you were a little bit more relaxed, like, would have that been enough? We'll never know, but it is something where when I talk to younger runners about races, and they'll complain to me about, I ran so bad, like I know I can run, 420 or whatever it is, what I mean? It's like, well, it's, if you hear yourself talking this way, that's the reason you're probably running like shit, is because you're just putting all this expectation of, like, I need to run these splits and do this. It's like, for me, and the DMR is a great example of it, where it's like all bets are off. You're just out there racing, giving it your all, like trying to find the best position and fight like hell. You're not thinking about what your 3K split has to be in order to run 13:10, or whatever it is, So there's definitely a lot in there to be learned from.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. And like the NCAA 5K is just during the race, just the least fun I've had.
Yeah,
I was just so stressed. Whereas like when I ran 13:26,
you're just counting. You're just counting the whole time, like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 10 guys here.
Yeah, it was so stressful. So yeah, and all the good races I've had, like the really, really good races I've had, has just been relaxed and fun.
Yeah.
So
outside of, so you won the Stanford Invite running the 13:26, correct?
Yes.
Talk to me about that race a little bit.
That was also probably like one of my highest moments in college for sure. It wasn't paced very fast. Like I think we went through 3K like 8:13, and then I think Dylan Powell of Colorado School of Mines, he took the next K a little faster. But then my whole goal was to break the school record. I think it was 13:32, if I'm not mistaken. Which I was kind of doing the math. I was like, all right, like with the K to go, I have to make a big move and really drop a really fast last K and get the school record. So K to go, I took off and then just started dropping everyone. I didn't expect to happen. I looked back, I think 700 to go. I was like, oh shoot, I actually happened everyone. So then, same kind of feeling. I didn't really feel anything in my legs till like the 200 to go.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a euphoric feeling. Which I think you get a lot of confidence from kind of leading a race, and when you know you have a good race, like just all the endorphins in your head start like making your body feel better.
I didn't realize that's how the race played out.
Yeah.
I just assumed you like blew everyone's doors out the last 200 or something. I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I dropped everyone. My last K was a 2:32. Last K was 2 flat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really hard close from really far out.
Yeah.
So yeah, which I mean I've never done anything like that before, but either like just the way the race was won or the way like the opposite of the time. So.
For sure.
That was like a 22-second PR.
Damn, so, 22-second PR.
Yeah. So.
Dang.
Yeah. So that was
that's a big day.
Race for me.
That's a big day.
Yeah. Well, I love Stanford. My PR my senior year was from that race as well. So.
Yeah, one of like my favorite, like when I ran 13:23, and it was I think probably like a 8-second PB. At the time, like that was such a special moment because I got to do it with Drew and Goose in the same race, and just the track and just the energy of it. And at the time, that was like the premier 5K was Peyton Jordan 5K.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that sound running is great also, but Peyton Jordan 5K is not quite what it used to be. Like it had that long history of like there was guys that ran like sub 13, right. Or like when Ben True and Hassan Mead ran like 13:01 together. That was so cool. But it's a special track for sure.
Yeah, and the weather's always great. It's just always a great time. Beautiful area.
Yeah, just with all those Stanford guys. Thank you again to our sponsors. Pillar Performance, I got some here. For those watching on YouTube, I love the Berry, triple magnesium professional recovery. Helps you recover fast from your runs, helps you sleep better. I know Ollie Herrera, George Mills, both sub 350 milers are ripping this stuff right now. Use code TINTALK for 50% off your next order. Highly recommend trying it. It's a game changer for me to get my sleep and to feel better the next day. They also have all sorts of different products, like their ultra immunity supplements that I take every day also to stay healthy. And I also take the joint armor to help my body and my tendons feeling good day in and day out. Go check out Pillar Performance online now. Use code TINTALK, 50% off. Support the pod. Support a great up-and-coming brand that is truly making a difference for our sport today. Thank you so much for this support. Before I get into mailbag and our final question, I wanted to ask you about who have been the biggest influences on you in your running career.
Oh, geez.
It could be a teammate, coach, God, who, whatever.
Yeah. In high school, my coach, Coach Shank, he definitely, I was a very tough athlete, I think, to coach, just always wanting to do too much and just race everything and all that. So he was definitely kept me in check. And also, as I said, I was injured a lot. And there weren't really even running injuries. It was just random injuries I would doing random things that, so just what he was able to get me to run off of the training I was able to do was pretty impressive. So, I mean, I guess also Miami, the coaches I had there, and they also always believed in me. They took a chance on me, even being on the team, and then coached me really well to get to the level I was at my senior year. And then my coach at Ole Miss, Smitty,
shout out Smitty.
Yeah, I love him. He's a great guy. Made it so fun, and then the training. I responded so well with training as well. I feel like he really had me figured out. So it was really hard, and leaving him to end up joining here. But obviously coaches. But beyond that, I've had quite a few chiropractors and stuff that have helped me just with my body, because I struggled a lot with injuries that I've said a couple times. But beyond that, I'd always look up to other pros and just aspire to be like them. I wasn't really anyone too specific, just all the top U.S. pros, around Centros, all them. Just always looking up to them and aspiring to be like that. Like I said, that's mainly it. I'm probably gonna forget someone big, after this, but yeah.
That's how it goes. And being on the spot for podcasts are always hard. All right, we are getting into the mailbag portion. Thank you guys all so much for all these submissions. We're going to jump right into them. This is going to be a little bit of a rapid fire just because there's so many. But if there is something you want to expand on, by all means. So Andrew asked, what's top on your running bucket list? He didn't clarify, but let's go with running bucket list for races you want to run.
Short answer, obviously some sort of world championship or Olympics. Is that realistic? I guess we'll find out in the next few years. But I guess in the short term, probably just get good enough to qualify for some sort of race in Europe. That's they basically represent the USA in some sense, whether it's at a US Indoor, US Cross, just anything really.
Yeah.
Then obviously the main goal is some sort of outdoor track world championship. But
if you could go to one Diamond League, which one would you want to go to?
I'm not too familiar with all of them, but Monaco, I think, is always one of the people.
Safe choice.
Yeah.
Safe choice for sure.
Yeah.
Hit the casinos after.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Triathlon? Question mark?
Kind of into that, but if I can swim, I don't really know how good I am at biking, because when I bike, it's always slow. So I've never really tested myself. But it really just comes down to whether or not I can swim a mile without We'll
do some swimming together.
Yeah.
We can start swimming together. I usually try to get in a 30-minute swim, 30-minute aqua job at least once a week. Try to do twice a week. So maybe I'll venture down to Longmont for some of these. That was D. Lou who asked that. King Julian asked, kind of a loaded question. We'll see how quick you can do this one. What does it take to be great?
What does it take to be great? A day in and day out dedication and staying healthy.
Nice. Josh asks, what do you admire most about the legacy of your glorious king, LeBron James?
So I guess I'm very much a LeBron James fan. So I admire his just nonstop greatness and longevity. And obviously I've never actually really seen it, but apparently his work ethic's amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just, I guess that's, yeah.
Have you ever seen him play live?
Yeah, so obviously when he played at Cleveland, I was able to see him quite a few times. So,
Really?
yeah, I'd like to see him one more time before he retires.
For sure.
Maybe if he comes to Denver.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we've been to a few Denver games. We just always cheer for the
Nuggets.
It's always like, no, we never cheer for the
Nuggets.
It's always when they're playing like a really bad team, it's like cheap tickets, so we'll just get like really ratty for like the Knicks or like something like really bad or like random. Or like the Pelicans. Another LeBron question from Tommy. LeBron or MJ or Brady?
Definitely LeBron. I mean, Tom Brady's really great, but I'd say. In terms of the LeBron versus MJ argument, I'm on the LeBron side, but
yeah,
no disrespect to Michael Jordan, obviously, but
no,
I don't know
full disrespect to
I know who's asking these questions.
Okay. Ryan asked top 5 Frank Ocean songs.
Top 5 Frank Ocean songs. Definitely changes by the month or so, but Ivy,
Classic.
Nikes. Okay.
5 is hard. I don't think I can name 5 songs from any artist. So.
No, I can name pretty much every single Frank Ocean song.
Okay, nice. Is that your favorite artist?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And then I'll go Crack Rock, Lost, and I'll go Wither off of the Endless album.
Nice. You got the album shout out there. Phil asks, what are your next goals?
Next goals. A lot of my goals that I actually think about are like just training goals. So just stay healthy, one, obviously. And then work up to being able to do hopefully double threshold. And then just keep on doing the ultracross training and just basically training twice a day and staying motivated, and or as we just say, dedicated. Dedicated is better than motivation.
There you go. Discipline. Better than motivation.
Better than motivation. Just stay as disciplined as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
As I transition to like a new environment.
I do believe that. I do believe that very much. Where it's like when motivation stops, that's when discipline takes over.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to be motivated. You're not going to want to get out the door every day. You're not going to want to get in the pool. You're not going to want to bike all the time. But there comes a time where your discipline is what's going to take you the furthest.
Yeah,
I
totally agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is a good one from Wade's 3333. Do you know this person?
Probably.
Okay. Would you rather have a cat named Squiggles or have Kenny Pickett receive the wrong pizza order 2 times? Is this relevant to something you know?
I used to be anti-cat, but we have a cat in the house right now, and I'm actually kind of enjoying. So
nice.
I'll go with cat named Squiggles.
Nice. I used to really be anti-cat too, and then once you meet Reed's cat, Oliver, then because I'm pretty sure he's staying with you guys over Christmas also, then you'll really be smitten, because that is just a nice little cross-eyed snuggle buddy. It's next level. Yeah. Benjamin Patrick Bayless asked, what was your nickname at Miami University?
I had a few.
Lay them on us.
The initials are BDC.
BDC?
I'll leave it at that.
Okay, nice. Who was your first love? Also from Benjamin Patrick Bayless.
Next question.
Amelia asks, what is it like being so hot?
I don't know who that is, but
nice. Nice. This is now a dating and matchmaking podcast.
I'll say you have to think you're hot first, which I don't. So I have any answer to that question.
Nice.
I guess it'd be good for
self-confidence. There you go.
Yeah.
Favorite type of running surface? From Tommy.
Always dirt. Just like a nice dirt trail.
Dirt, baby.
Yeah. Actually, I guess I have different. It's pine needles. Ooh. It's probably the best. Like pine needles on top of dirt.
Yeah. That's the best. Kind of like I guess Priest Trail is more bark chip.
Yeah.
Need to go to like St. Moritz, get some nice pine forests running. Favorite or most inspirational book you've ever read? From Jackson.
I'll go Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Just same kind of just being hard-nosed and just motivated and self-disciplined. I think that really helps and will help a lot with running, motivation, discipline, everything.
Shane Fitz asked, what made you choose Tinman Elite?
It's a good question. I think I've always just kind of looked up to the team. I was such a big fan for the past 5 years. I mean, I think the team was started while I was still in high school. So just watching the team grow and watching what you guys have done for the sport, I think it was really cool and wanted to just help you guys do similar and kind of be the new kids in the block and just kind of like revamp the team after all like the people that left the summer, just kind of like be the new face. And
yeah, absolutely. Nice. It is something really cool now, and like to hear you say that, because like Austin was kind of like very similar, where it was like when the team first started, like he was a senior in high school, and then followed in college and everything. So it is cool to see like, someone from becoming like a follower and a fan into being now an athlete. It's like those dreams can, become a reality, even for anyone listening.
Yeah, which I have Joey gave me a Tinman sticker at him in my junior in college. So
no way.
On laptop, yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Spooky Sid asked, is Ohio colder than Colorado?
Yes, all of Ohio, which I'm from the northern side, so it's even colder there. So like the average high is probably like low 30s, average low is probably 20-ish, whereas here the average high in the winter is like upper 40s.
Oh, so you were ready for this question?
Yeah. Well, I just enjoy looking at weather patterns and stuff. So
nice.
I knew the stats off the top of my head.
Weatherman Ant, new nickname. Top 3 shoe rotation right now.
So I've run at Adidas a little bit at Miami. So I guess the ones I'm liking now are the Adidas Solar Glides. I think I like those the best.
For training?
Yeah, for training runs. I like the Bostons, and then also I wear, the past 6 years I've worn the Skechers Max Roads, or maybe like past 3 years actually. But I've had probably like 40 pairs of Skechers Max Roads, so.
Wow. Do you use like Ed Chez's Skechers discount code or what?
I
don't know if you're allowed to say a Skechers shoe now that you're sponsored by Adidas, but
yeah,
we'll let it slide.
I don't wear them anymore, if that means anything.
Okay.
But
shout out Skechers.
Yeah, I think they're phasing out.
Adidas ain't paying us for this podcast.
I think Skechers is phasing out the running shoes enough where they're no longer competition at all.
Yeah, I think maybe when Chez's contract is up, they'll just discontinue their running. Yeah. But
so yeah, I'd say those 3, and then I like the Adios Pro 3s more than any other super show I've worn. So
nice.
Yeah, that goes a lot.
Last couple right here. These are mainly from guys on the team. Drew asked, what went through your head when deciding where to move to start your pro career? I guess you already answered this one with why Tinman Elite, so we could just go to Austin's, unless you want to answer that one.
I'd probably pretty much actually say. And I guess I kind of wanted to be at altitude as well. And I think I mentioned early in the podcast that Boulder's always kind of been this place that I looked at as like this amazing place to train and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Austin said, answer this. Ohio greater than blank.
Every state. I'm a huge Ohio fan, so.
You are a huge Ohio fan?
Yeah, I'm not one of those haters.
Nice. And Joey asked, possibility of joining the Tour de France with Joey upon retirement from running, ?
Yeah, we can start the Tinman pro cycling team.
Cycling team. I think we need to do some cycling gear.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty sweet. Get some bips going. All right, last question. Gonna wrap it up with one of my favorite questions is, what is your Mount Rushmore of people that you have raced against? And it doesn't have to be just the 4 fastest people you've ever raced against. It could be the most influential people for you that you raced against, someone you looked up to, whatever's a Mount Rushmore for you. Because Teddy Roosevelt wasn't a great president, but he did do the whole national parks thing, so he got on there.
Yeah. I mean, if that's a consideration, then maybe he'd be on there for me because I'll run in parks and stuff.
Yeah.
But
you haven't raced against him,
I haven't
so
raced against him.
Doesn't count.
So, I guess Mario Garcia Roma.
Nice.
I raced against him, obviously 4th in the world.
Oh,
I think I only actually raced against him once in a 3K, but it was when I was at Miami. And then Elliot Kipsang, raced against him.
Shout out, Elliot.
Shout out. I was in both of his regional races where he got like a 50 meter lead in everyone. We were just out in the back like, oh, I can just fight for a second then.
Yeah.
And then
you see Elliot in the race and you're like, all right, I guess there's 4 more spots.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then that's when he was soloing like 335s every single day.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess the other two would probably be from this US final this past year. So Paul Chalimo. Obviously
good one.
Second. The
Silver
silver
medalist.
thing.
Yeah.
I forget what year it was. In 2017.
Did you notice him doing any nose taps?
During the race?
Yeah.
No, I was so far. I was
Okay.
I was rubbing shoulders with Cole Sprout the entire race, so I didn't really notice
Down and out with Cole in the back.
Yeah. I wanted to be higher up, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then, I guess I'd have to say Woody Kincaid just because he has the American record indoors in the 5K.
Yeah.
Which it might actually I don't know if Grant's ran faster outdoors, but I guess it could be the overall American record as well.
Nice. Yeah. Those are good ones. All right, Anthony, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Cannot wait to follow. I'm sure everyone listening is going to be excited to follow your career as the years go on and to continue the legacy of Tinman Elite now that you're one of the newest members. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for everyone listening. Go check out Pillar Performance, 50% off. Use code TINTALK. Really great recovery supplement. It'll relieve soreness, make you sleep better. Everything you need in one. You get like 40 servings for one, so I think it's around like $40 with the discount. So $1 a night to feel better. Absolute no-brainer, guys. Especially using code TINTALK. It has magnesium in it, which is an essential nutrient that you need for running, for performance, for recovery. You will enjoy this product as much as I have no doubt. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. This podcast is brought to you by Pillar Performance. Are you feeling like shit? Are your legs really sore? Do you sleep like shit? Well, maybe you should try Pillar Performance. It has 3 types of different magnesium in it. I can't pronounce them all.